Hello everybody, this is Rhomur, and this is episode 16 of my StarSector Let's Play for new players. Thank you all for the 100 subscribers, thank you very much for that. I'm hoping to keep making more videos in the future when I can get time to do so. It's a bit tricky, things happen in life, but I'll keep trying to do them, and maybe we can work on another series at the same time. Anyway, let's get right into this one, shall we? I've got a lot of stuff to sell and a lot of ships to buy. So where I last left off, I had looted this system, specifically the one here, of Erebus, to the south of our first couple of colonies. And I have in my cargo holds quite a lot of treasure that I need to offload, specifically all these AI cores. Now I could use these in my colonies to make them function a bit better, but I'm not in a state yet where I want to confront the hegemony or the Ludic path, so I'm just going to turn them into cash, and then turn that cash into more stuff, specifically a few ships I would like to get. So, let's head off now. I need to head off to Tritachyon Space. I think the closest one is probably going to be Ragnar here in Valhalla, or Scaffi here in Valhalla, Ragnar system, or Hybrasil, either or. Maybe there's a Tritachyon military station, we could take a look there. Or hegemony we could take on the way back. I think I'll head off to Valhalla, head off to Scaffi, and sell everything there. See you in a second. Or rather, I will see you in a second. First I need to make a pit stop at the colonies just to replace everybody that was been dying recently. Okay. Ooh, and as we got back to our system, a little bounty popped up behind. Quite a bit of money, and quite a few interesting ships. We have a Legion carrier, so maybe you should turn around and see if we could take this on. Might be able to salvage it. But first things first, let's get repairs done. So I put all the frigates back in the fleet. They're all still fully equipped, so they'll be fine. I would like to eventually start swapping them out though, because as we've seen, they don't have a very high shelf life when big guns are involved. And I'm going to leave this spare Colossus because I don't need any more cargo capacity. And now we have a little carrier to work on. So let's see what we got for the autofits first. We've got one emphasizing bombers, one emphasizing interceptors. Let's see. So this is flash bombers, that's the best it can do with heavy fighters. More bombers are always a nice thing. Let's see, have we got any missile bombers or torpedo bombers we could swap out instead? Kinetic bombers. Couple of Kopesh. Wish we had torpedo bombers. We seem to go through them pretty quickly. There's the Perdition bomber, I suppose. The proximity charges can also be quite fun. And these are all unmanned craft as well, so this entire ship can keep fighting and I won't have to worry about losing all my crew over and over and over and over. Integrate targeting units. Gives a range bonus to Energy and Ballistic, which is specifically the point defense, and the Needler. Yeah, Needler is actually quite a good cannon. This is one of my favorite weapons. You just see it spray a ton of machine gun bullets and bye. The enemy shields disappear. And then we need to assign a captain. And I have this guy ready. He's perfect for fighters, I would say. In fact, he can level up. That's what he can get. Damage to fires and missiles. Yeah, well, he's got point defense, so that would work. Or peak operating time. Let's see, what's the operating time? Peak performance of 360 seconds. I'd like it to be a little bit longer, I suppose. So I'll go combat endurance. But I don't see the purpose in getting any more levels in it other than the peak operating time. Any battles that last longer than, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 minutes at that point, yeah, it's probably not going in your favor anyway. A bit more acceleration. Let's see, we've got top speed. For a carrier, weapon range doesn't matter as much. Let's go with helmsmanship. And damage control. Okay, I think I'll call that enough for now for him. Don't want to increase the cost too much. Now we'll repair, and we'll head off to sell all our stuff now. Wow, that is a delicious amount of money, I would have to say. Nearly 2 million credits. I'm happy with that. And it even improved our relationship quite a bit, to the point where I could possibly get commissioned if I wanted to. But I think I'm okay with hegemony ships at the moment. And with our newfound wealth, let's go take a look. I would like to go see what some of the hegemony's military equipment is. Maybe we can find something pretty impressive. Fortunately, this world didn't have much for us. A missile cruiser we could possibly pick up, or an Eagle cruiser, but I'm looking for something a little bit bigger, I think. Perhaps a better capital ship to do a little bit more heavy hitting, although I do quite like the Eagle still. But there's nothing compelling us to buy anything right this second. I think I'll try another military world and see what I can find. And this new planet, I think I found probably the best looking officer out of all of them so far. And he's actually not half bad in terms of his stats either, so I think I'm going to add Moses Linz, the creepy looking doctor, as one of our new officers. I'll put him in the fleet in a second. We could put him in the Eagle cruiser. Perfect. And whilst we're here, let's see what is available. And this is more what I was looking for. In fact, for that price, oh boy, that's quite a bit of our money. There's also some other cooler ships here, such as a battle group variant of the Falcon, which is slightly better armor and flux capacity at an expensive speed. But what about these battleships? We've got one here which is also a battle group variant. Has a little bit more armor, flux, ordnance points, actually plus 37, that's not too bad. And then of course the low-tech version, which has nothing particularly amounted. Huh, wait, hold on. So it's plus... The ordnance points is only slightly different. It's not that big of a difference. I'm not sure if the extra armor and flux capacity make that big of a difference on the ship. It's only a few hundred points for an extra nearly 500,000 credits. But it is definitely a very enticing capital ship. I mean, just look at this. Whoa, it uses 750 crew. Oh wow. And it has the same burn drive as the current carrier we have. It's got a lot of cannons, a lot of missiles, and a lot of ballistic weaponry. So it looks like it's a complete different version. It doesn't use fighters at all, it just uses heavy cannons. But its top speed is so bad. Huh, okay. And then we've got the Mora carriers. Pretty fighter bays, pretty slow. Not my favorite carrier. And the Dominators, which are basically the equivalent of upgraded destroyers. Better versions of the Enforcer, I guess. And then, I guess my selling of the Astral blueprint earlier must have come in handy, because I had little Astral carriers in the black market, completely pristine condition, with its delicious 6 fighter bays. And it's only 500,000 credits. Compare that to this thing, and of course there's nothing else on the regular market that I like. I think an Astral is, this is getting into endgame level of ships at this point, so I think let's make this the new flagship of the fleet. Let's fit this up, shall we? Oh, need to drag him to the front actually. Crew understaffed, I'm not surprised. Well, then again, it only needs 450 extra crew, so that's not the worst thing. This ship here requires 700, so eh. And for refitting, let's see what we can do currently here. I'm not expecting the best, but we'll see. 2 large missile turrets, and mostly a lot of small and medium energy, so it's not amazing, but it's pretty good. What do the autofits give us? Emphasis on fighters and interceptors, missile bombers, heavy fighters, torpedo bombers. I would like to do that if I could. Let's see what it's got. Let's actually got a couple of... Let's take a look at the market here. They're selling some fighter blueprints. Gladius. It's a fighter type. This is the missile bomber. Mining. Piranhas. Okay, and there's a black market. Tridents, there we go, that's what I want. A couple of tridents with those Atropos class torpedoes, I will take those. Nothing else particularly special among the rest of these. Let's go back to the refit. And then of course strike is lots of torpedoes all the time. I could go with that, I think. For now anyway, until we equip it a little bit better. Looks like it uses the same mods for all of the builds, just it's different fighter types. I'm not a fan of piranha bombers or these broadsword heavy fighters, but we can swap those out later. Missile racks will be handy to have. These MIRVs would be a very effective long-range weapon. And we could probably get rid of the reinforced bulkheads. And I believe we could... Let's get the operations center, as this is now going to be my new ship. Well, given it has 6 fighters, I'd better put an actual fighter officer in charge for now. Let's put Mahjong in charge. And we'll take out the operations center again, until I can get a few carrier skills for myself. Then I'll swap over for it. We could... It's mainly an emphasis on being a carrier. It's not got much else going for it, so... Where's my additional deck crew? Here we go. So this will... Basically, as you lose fighters, your ship's ability to produce new fighters slows down. So when your fighters are alive, the ability for it to rebuild the new fighters becomes better and better until it hits 100%. This means the ship can replace fighters for longer without it slowing down, and it also increases the ability for them to rebuild the fighters 50% faster. Yeah, it's just a little crew increase cost, so it's not too bad. And I would dump it into a combination of those. And now let's get the extra crew, as we are just slightly below. On about 200, I'd say is about okay. Have a little bit more. Always better to have more crew, just in case people get knocked off. Got enough supplies, stack on fuel a bit. Our current monthly income is high enough now to offset some of these expenses, and now that I'm going to go down and chase that bounty and put this fleet to the test, I'll recoup most of that already. In the meantime, I just want to see if there's anything else here that I might be missing, any mods, equipment, any of the ships that I might like. I could always add an onslaught if I wanted to, or maybe a dominator, but these ships' top speeds are so slow. I mean, the Dominator is quite a fun cannon ship, but if it doesn't get to the enemy, it's not a very good ship. I think we could wait for our heavy industry to be finished, and then we could start building our better ships. Such as... Odyssey. I think I'd like to build a couple of Odysseys. Long-range lasers, missiles, and fighters. It's a perfect combination of a ship. And it's not too bad on the price either. Whereas when you buy it from the markets, you have to pay always a certain little bit of extra markup, as it were. Anyway, time for me now to make my way back to my colony space. And, ooh, actually it's 2 bounties now. Oh, it ended. But this one's still going, and they've got a somewhat more powerful fleet, at least this battle carrier. So let's go test our ships, make a little bit of money, and then we can continue our exploration at the same time. Perfect. I'll see you guys there. And I can't believe I did it again. I did read the bounty text, and it says that she's in orbit near a black hole, which I just went straight past. I probably want to go back there. Okay. And it said a rocky world, so let's see. Rocky... Oh, there's only, I think, one rocky world here, so it's probably this one. We could also survey that ice jam whilst we're there. Set as Zeta Bezel. Be very, very quiet. We're hunting privateers. So here, let's do the survey. 60 resources. And that's even with my big ships with the equipment as well, jeez. And there was no reason I did that. Wow. Okay. Plan we're looking for is right here. There they are. Let's keep dark. That's not so bad. I think we'll probably end up flattening them. Oh, they actually tried to pursue me. Okay. Well, as we can see, it's a little bit of a overkill situation, but I want to see just how well our fleet can destroy these things so quickly. Because I like to test out later when we end up fighting lots of bigger fleets that will inevitably have this kind of firepower. So let's see, I want to deploy this guy. I'd say we can skip the mules. Well, a couple of frigates. They blow up, they blow up. Astrals are my favorite ship. Just all those fighter and bomber squadrons, it's just, when you've got 3 of these things, you may as well just have yourself a whole new fleet. They're also not so bad in terms of their ability to reload the bombers. So, what have we got? All hiding around there. A couple of unshielded ships. These things aren't going to live very long. I mean, we got 2 of them in like a couple of seconds. Where's the enemy's carrier? He's still making his way here. I can understand now that the having ships with mainly cannons is not as good as having ships with lots of bombers. But this is sort of like how it works in real life. A bit far out for a bombing run there, guys. Where did my fighters go? Oh, the Astral has quite a big operating range. Okay, bye Legion. And it was destroyed, so I don't think I'm gonna be salvaging that anytime soon. Not much left. A couple of Condor bomber carriers. Yeah. You guys, stop blowing up the salvage. I kind of want that. So who's left? They're running away. I can pursue them. Hopefully we can get the hammerhead at least. Nah, he got away. I think our fleet is a little bit overkill now, at least for bounties and most general enemies. Having just an Astral will be enough for that. And we can order some of the surplus ships to deal with this. Perfect. And assortment of various goodies, nothing amazing. And a bounty, and relationship, and a level up. Perfect. All round. And with the level up, I think I will actually get officer management too. I'd like to hopefully get officers for the entire fleet if I can. Perfect. I think with some of the extra money, I want to open a third colony. But for now, I think I'm going to first just queue up the next construction of Patrol HQ on my secondary planet. I would then also like to queue up at some point after that fuel production and get that started so I can slap in the synchrotron core and get a bit of extra fuel production going for that. But we'll wait for these two to finish building first. As for our main colony, we could upgrade some of the structures now, but I think I just want to leave it for the moment. We could upgrade maybe the ground defenses, but we'll wait for it to grow. That way everything will get better a little bit. And with the heavy industry, we can start making better use of things. As for the moment, however, I want to go with a sizable contingent of volunteers to this system here, where we surveyed the system planet of Garn, the jungle world. And I'd like to set up a colony here for farming and mining, so it's got rich ore, moderate ore, and organics. It would provide transplutonics for fuel production, regular ore for metal refining, which is good for all purposes, mainly heavy industry, and organics, which is good for consumer goods. It does have a few problems with it, but it's only 150% hazard rating, so it's not terrible, and it's still quite close by, so we can keep an eye on it. It has scattered ruins, but I'm not really interested in building anything for that. I rarely get anything valuable from scattered ruins. I think in all my playthroughs I've maybe had one blueprint for a cruiser, maybe. It's better to look for vast ruins such as the one in the system here, Dallas Star. This one has vast ruins, so that'll be the one I'll build afterwards once I have a mining planet set up. So, for now, I think let's get some volunteers. We can offload all our stuff. Okay, perfect. So we're going to need about 1,000 people. We have the space for them. Grab 200 supplies, and a little bit more maybe. We're okay on fuel. We can grab some food as well, maybe, just to get them started. Anything else? Oh yes, I wanted to refit the carrier. Let's see what it gives us. So it's currently the strike carrier. I just want to avoid anything that uses bombs, really. Missiles, torpedoes, and a couple of heavy fighters. Standard bombers. Okay, what can we swap out for you? Spark interceptors aren't so bad. What are the ranges on these? Got 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Yeah, I'd rather have some more interceptors, perhaps. It'll be fine, I think. Okay, now I'm going to head off and colonize that planet. So your earliest priority with your colonies is trying to get them to have interchanging goods, so that they produce everything themselves. When the enemy factions start to gang up on you, you won't be able to import those goods anymore, and your colonies will collapse otherwise. So you need to specialize them early on, focus on industry, focus on mining, farming, etc, etc. But for now it's okay. I just want to try and get everything set up. Whilst I was here, I surveyed the other planet in the system, but it's not as good. I mean, it's got a bit of ore, but that's all it's got going for it. But I think with that hazard rating and that, it's not worth it. And interestingly enough, there's some pirates. Makeshift comm relay. There's a pirate station in this system. Maybe... oh, I did blow them up, didn't I? I didn't capture these relays, though. Well, it makes it easy for me. They built them for me. Let's take control of it. And let's go colonize that planet. Okay, here we go for colonization. So, everything's fine. We've got a little bit of hostilities with the other factions affecting our accessibility, but we're close to our colonies, so it's okay. And everything's fine for supplies. Let's colonize it. A big jungle planet to add to our little empire. And I think I'm going to call this one from a more modern Deus Ex game Panchaea, as we're going to be digging the hell out of it. Perfect. So we need to wait a bit. Let's dump off some of these food. Perfect. Okay. So let's get construction going. Start with ground defenses, and then I'll build mining next. That'll make actually quite a bit of money off the go because of all the resources we'll be mining out of it. We could go with farming, but we've got farms going already. Let's get the mining going. And then once these are all built, we can start looking at queuing up other stuff. And we've also hit our administration limit. I need to hire an administrator now or level up my skill to level 3 if we want to get any more colonies without any adverse effects for them. But I think it's okay. Got a few new planets, one that's focused on mining and production for food. I'll also, for this one, because it produces so much of its own, I'll probably end up building refining. Actually, I'm not sure this requires rare ore. We have transplutonic for fuel and regular, and so maybe light industry might be better. Yeah, we could build some light industry on this planet. That would save us having to ship all the stuff around. We could also build refining, but then we'd have to import some of the... actually no, transplutonic ore. It's that silver one, isn't it? I'm thinking of something else. So yeah, I think there is just the free resources. I'm thinking of something else completely different. So we could go build the farming and then refining and light industry, and this planet will supply most of our lower tier consumer products as well as minerals. Ignore tech mining, and I want to build commerce on my capital planet when I get the chance. That'll be the next one I build actually, because this will let me have a market to sell stuff onto. I still have to pay a 30% tariff for it, but it lets me offload junk. If I'm accumulating lots of things, I'd like to be able to sell it. And it also gives a little bonus, I think, to the income of the planet, which is very nice, especially when it gets to be an incredibly large population planet. So, I think that's good for now. Everything is okay. Got a third colony. Got a brand new spanking ship. Brand spanking new. With a lot of fighter bombers. And we'll go from here. My next priority is to level up my next skill, this colony management, and then build a third colony. Possibly looking at, what could we see? Because I remember there was also another mining world I was quite interested in. I haven't really been down here far enough to find them, I think. There's one in here. Could have sworn there was a volcanic planet, but I do know here that there is a tech planet here, so I might go for this one next. Build this one to get the tech mining, and pretty much nothing else of value actually. So once it's done tech mining, I can then pull it off. But it's got quite a low hazard rating, so we could use it for industry as well. That might be an option. Yeah, I could do that, have 2 industrial planets. I think that would work. So, thank you all for watching. Thank you very much everybody. Thank you for dealing with my delays in making these videos. I'm hoping that I can keep going. And thank you for the 100 subscribers. I'll see you all guys in the next video and have a great day. Peace out everybody.